All right, next up, As Ye Sow. Oh man, it was so exciting to see the chick from Lethal Weapon 2 in this movie. She is so damn beautiful. Rika? I can't remember how she says her name in Lethal Weapon 2. I can't remember what her real name is, but Lethal Weapon 2. Anytime I see this chick, she's just the chick from Lethal Weapon 2. Oh, that scene where she's... If you haven't seen Lethal Weapon 2, come on now. Really? But little spoilers, I guess. Not little, major spoilers here for Lethal Weapon 2. If you haven't seen it, stop this. Go watch Lethal Weapon 2. What are you doing with your life? Watch Lethal Weapon 1 first. And 3 and 4 after, because all 4 are fantastic. But anyway, yeah, like when he sees, like they put him in the water and he's down there and he finds her. Oh my God, that scene is so damn sad. I'm going to review all of those. I want to do Lethal Weapons and the Die Hards. I want to do that. Maybe after Child's Play. Maybe I'm going to start doing some more like action and all that. Anyway, let's stay on fucking track here. We get Adam West in this episode. Batman himself. We get Kyle MacLachlan, who's directing this episode. You got a pretty famous actor here. Can't remember what his real name is. He's been in tons and tons of shit in his career. The main guy, the husband in this. But the role I know him best from, and this isn't usually a kind of movie I would talk about on a horror channel, especially during a horror review, but is this unbelievably sweet, endearing film that I adore called The Other Sister with Juliette Lewis, Tom Skerritt, and Giovanni Ribisi. I love that movie. It gets me to fucking tear up every time. And he plays Ernie, Giovanni Ribisi's like friend who takes care of him. Anytime I see this guy, he's like trying to play the tough guy here, and it's like he's always Ernie to me. He's such a sweet man, like in that movie. So he's always playing tough in all these other roles, and then that one, he's like the sweetest dude. So that's how I know him. So it's hard for me to take him serious when he's being super mean, even though he's amazing at it. Like he is a great actor, and he does seem intense, but I don't know. He's Ernie to me. So yeah, this is one of those kinds of episodes, and kind of reminds me, this opening reminds me of another favorite movie of mine, a movie that I would love to talk about sometime. Honeymoon in Vegas with Nicolas Cage, Sarah Jessica Parker, James Caan. The scene where, because Nicolas Cage in that movie is a private eye, and this dude comes in and he wants to hire him because he's convinced his wife is having an affair with Mike Tyson. Some of the best fucking dialogue ever. So funny. And it just kind of reminds me of that, where this guy's coming in and he's talking to Adam West, and he's just like, my wife's cheating. I know it. And he's like, I followed her around. She's practically a saint. Like, she's not fucking cheating on you. Stop. And he won't take, like, he is just convinced he's out of his mind. And rightfully so. I mean, she is way out of his league. She is way too young for him. Like, he shouldn't even be able to be with this chick anyways. So, of course, that's getting to him. He's getting older. He's balding. He's this and that. And he thinks his wife is out there fucking around on him. And so he just needs to prove it. And then he goes to this guy, and he looks around until he can find a guy who will tell him what he wants to hear. Like, okay, like, I'll give you what you want. Like, I'll find out that she's cheating. And that's basically what he does. He's just like, I need you to fucking find that my wife's cheating. And the guy's like, all right, I'll do it. And he goes out there, and he doesn't even find any actual proof. He just leads him. He leads him to his own conclusions. Like, she's hanging out with this priest. And, you know, he got kicked out of the last church because he had very progressive ideologies, like different ideas that are going against the Catholic Church. And, you know, he's like starts putting 2 and 2 together, even though it's not true. And so he's like, you know, I want him dead. I want to kill him. And he goes over and he talks to the guy, and the guy's like so nice. And he sees everything he says as like proof, basically, that he's screwing his wife, even though that's not what he's getting at all. But he has it so in his head at that point that he just needs, he can pretty much hear anything at that point, and he would be like, yeah, he's doing it. I think the twist of this ending is seen like a mile away, but that doesn't make it any less effective and screwed up. But I mean, I don't think he deserves to die. I mean, I think that that's an extreme, you know, learning lesson here. But regardless, like, he does deserve it. As I said, I don't think about death, but in a you know, entertainment sense of the way, like how we see these television shows, it's nice to see them kind of get their comeuppance here. So yeah, I like that he has this fantasy, and this actually was reminding me of, like, you know how you date somebody, or like you have a crush on somebody or something, and then you find out they've been sleeping with someone else, or like you think they might be, or whatever, and you get this fantasy, or you think maybe your wife's cheating like this guy, and you get this fantasy in your head, and of course, in your fantasy, the guy has like a 12-inch penis, and he's like ripped, and he's, you know, he looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger with his shirt off, and she's just in like the throes of lust and love, and she's just orgasming every 5 seconds. Like, I love how our fantasies, and in reality, if they had sex, it'd probably be so boring. You'd watch it and be like, ugh. Like, most people don't have sex like porno stars. Like, people have pretty boring sex for the most part, if you were to watch it. And so, like, I just find that funny. Like, and he's talking, like, he's thinking of the priest fucking his wife in his head. It's so hot, steamy in that confessional. She's just like throwing her head back and all. It's so funny. It just reminds me of all the times where I've done that in my head, where I'm thinking of this girl that I'm into screwing with some other guy. For that instance, when I'm getting all angry, I'm just seeing, like, fucking, you know, Zeus is making love to her or something. Some god. Great stuff. And I mean, puts out a hit on this guy without any proof at all. That's crazy. And I love that, like, you know, he finds out that she's not cheating, and he has her come out. I mean, I think she should be like, this is an invasion of privacy like crazy, but she's all about him, I guess. And I just adore that Miguel Ferrer, or whatever, from Night Flyer and every other damn movie I love, is the hitman in this. He's only in it for like a brief second, but it's always great to see him. And it's like one in the ear, and it shoots him in the fucking head. Oh, man. He gets it bad, but that's what you get, man. Like, you put it, I guess he does deserve to die. And I take that back, what I said earlier, now that I think about it. Like, he put a hit out on a priest for fucking his wife without any proof, and it wasn't even true. So, yeah, you put a hit out on somebody for no reason at all, just because you're a jealous son of a bitch, then yeah, you probably should die, because who knows what you're gonna do next. You're basically a murderer. You're just a wimpy murderer. You're making somebody else do the murdering for you. So that's all a hit is. You're a murderer. You just don't have the balls to do it yourself, you know? So anyway. All right, let's move on.